Another rubbish day. Got a question going round in my head.
Come on, coach, in you go. Come on. Oh, he's played that lovely. Get in. Oh! Get in. Alright.
What are you doing?
Oh, just watching back some classics, you know. Oh, brilliant, isn't it? Watch. Oh yeah, it has. Yeah. Let's go in.
I've got a question going round in my head, Matthew.
Oh, okay.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
Loft
Yes.
versus tech.
Yes.
I want to test.
Does it do anything?
Well, clubs go higher and lower in theory, don't they? And
Yeah.
people are talking about like this goes there and that goes this and this does this. If we get two contrasting clubs matched at the same loft,
What's the difference?
what's going to actually happen? Is loft the biggest thing? Is loft the king of it all? So obviously strike rolls, and then are we actually going to loft if angles are the same?
Yeah.
Or is the tech actually helping?
I have some thoughts, but let's see, shall we?
So I've set Matt off on a little task to try and find two contrasting irons in tech, but similar in loft and length of shaft, those things, which we'll see what he comes back with. Look, if I just go on a few websites here, and you can do this with any manufacturer. I'm on Cobra's website here, Speed Zone irons. You know, there's talk about maximizing ball speeds with carbon fiber tops. There's Ford's PWR shell face insert features 35 grand larger sweet spot zone, 8% deeper undercut cavity, enhanced ball speeds, and launch across the face. So, you know, each manufacturer, if I go to Ping, they're doing the same. G410 here. You've got, what have we got here? Larger flexing zones, cleaner look, high MOI irons, toe heel weighting, delivers faster ball speeds. Like, it doesn't matter which manufacturer you do it with. In Callaway, I've got the Apex here, and it's saying same things. You've got ball enhancing technology in the club, basically. So what happens if we compare that to something that hasn't got that, but it matches? See what Matt's found, shall we? What have we got, Matt?
Look at these.
Couple of Callaways, not surprised. What have you found?
So this is 30 degrees. This is 30.5.
So we've got an Apex.
We've got an Apex blade
MB.
and an Apex CF 19, I think it is.
Okay, so we've got very contrasting. You've got tech, and a sliver of metal.
Yeah.
So a blade to a techie iron. So in effect, you've matched the length of the shaft.
Length's the same too, yeah.
Length's the same. We've got them both dotted up. So we're going to hit them, see what lofts and stuff we present. How much difference when you get two clubs which are the same, in effect, if we can deliver them the same is another question which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
What difference actually does this tech really make? Let's go and test. So let's hit some with the blade to begin. So we're all dotted up. We're going to get loft delivered. Obviously we've shown you the loft static. The big question is, will we get equivalent hits, I guess. That's what we're going to have to spend all morning here doing.
That's the challenge, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
That's a good shot.
And I guess then the big thing is, why are they not equivalent hits would be another question we could kind of start to talk about, which we might find in the test as well.
Yeah.
Didn't drift that one as much. I get the feeling like we're going to have a little bit of deselect going on in this.
Yeah. Trying to get the same loft and as numbers as close together as possible is tricky, isn't it?
It's a funny conversation, actually, isn't it?
And that is why you're doing this test.
Yeah, but also as well, what I think is funny is also when people show you their numbers, like people send me numbers and stuff, is that you just think, wow, that's not a comparison. I know you think that's a comparison, but like that's a comparison that's worked for you in your mind, and that's cool. That's a good thing. Because if you're actually going to compare, you'll see it's like near on impossible.
Yeah.
So let's do the Callaway Apex next. Well, we've got the same length shaft in both of these clubs as well.
Yeah.
Just to try and make sure we're going to get similar, as close as we can data. They're not exactly the same shafts, but we are measuring dynamic loft. So the loft will be the loft.
Numbers are numbers, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think some people might not quite, because I often think when we do the shaft conversations, people think there's magic involved.
Yeah.
Because like they say, that one went higher, and I then would say, cool, how did it go higher?
Yeah.
It went, and they just say it did. Well, you must have delivered, for it to go higher, you've struck it in a different place, or you delivered more loft.
Yeah.
What's causing that? Is it the shaft, how you reacted to the shaft? It's so many different things that it can be.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're literally doing it to match speeds and everything, aren't we?
Well, really, we want the same loft delivered at the same speed, and let's see what the tech's all about. Let's see what it says. Now, instantly, my feeling is this is going to go higher. The animation in my head looks higher. I just feel like this
should go higher.
Yeah. But then I know if you match lofts, really?
Tricking you. Tricking lots of people, probably.
Yeah.
Definitely sounds different.
Yeah, well, again, that's why the reviews, that's why the reviews end up being the reviews, because it looks like this, it sounds like this. It's...
Good shot. Nice little drifts, isn't it?
Yeah, I like the drift. That's my favourite shot with an iron. If I'm drifting like that, I feel pinpointy.
Yeah.
I just need to hit a couple more with the apex, because when we look at the numbers, for some reason, which we'll talk about, I'm not swinging it as fast as the bladed club. So I'm going to hit a couple more with this and just try and pick the club head speed up. Which we'll talk about more. It's interesting in itself, isn't it? That I'm 2 miles an hour slower or whatever with this than I am the apex.
Yeah.
The bladed one.
Yeah, that is an interesting point straight off, isn't it? Like, it's the same length and everything.
It's like we bring so much baggage, don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
What I love is we bring baggage, yet conversations are generally, they're built around people's, what they think is fact.
Yeah.
And there's your battle. Must be hard being a doctor, mustn't it? Being a GP must be tough.
Yeah.
Have you given up those cigarettes? Well, I'm having less. Well, how can you be back moaning?
Yeah. Yeah, like fitness in the gym.
Oh, they must, the
Gym people.
Any personal trainers out there, I feel for you people. I feel for you.
Dear. How's the food going?
Yeah.
Still eating rubbish?
Yeah, yeah. What are you doing after this? Well, me and my friend are meeting at the Starbucks over there.
Yeah.
Oh,
that Starbucks has got 500 calories in that you've just spent half an hour trying to burn.
Yeah, and at the start of this session, you moaned that you weren't losing weight quick enough at me.
Yeah.
So I'm just picking up the club head speed a little bit to try and match it, because all we want, this isn't about which one is better or worse, all we want are matching. Like if I had a robot, we'd put it in a robot and just program it in and show you. We haven't got a robot. And also what I love about these tests as well is that even though we're trying to get the numbers as robotic as possible, the human element will come through that gives it even more discussion. Mm-hmm. Like why is this one swinging slower that's interesting in itself, isn't it? I'm picking up speed on those.
Yeah.
Right, one more and we'll look at these numbers. Right, the data's in. Let's have a look at what happened. So shall we start with the club data, how I delivered that club, or those two clubs. You got to remember one's a 6 and one's a 7. So the Apex is a 7.
Yep.
And the MB, the blade, is a 6. So they're not the same club, but they are within 0.5 loft.
0.5, yeah, as close as we could get.
So let's go club head speed.
Club head speed 87 with the Apex, 87.4 with the MB, so 0.4 difference.
Now what was interesting is I was swinging the Apex
A little slower.
2 mile an hour slower, which I wouldn't have known.
Nope.
So I had to hit a few more, as you saw, to try and pick it up, which we then managed to match
Yeah.
within 0.4. Why was I swinging that slower? I don't know. I don't know.
Perception of stuff, distances that you want to hit a 7. I literally, it's funny.
If I'm hitting those 2 clubs, my brain instantly thinks the apex with the tech.
Yeah.
I'm going to be fiery with it. I'm going to be the longer side of my distance. And then you give me a blade, I almost feel like I'm going to be on the shorter side of my distance.
Yeah.
So possibly without even knowing,
You can be
start
more
trying to,
confident and whack it a
knowing
bit
it
more.
isn't going to fly.
Yeah.
That's my only suggestion. I don't know. Maybe post comments down below. What do you think? Why would I be swinging, in effect, that club, which is the same length? Remember, they're the same length shaft. Interesting. Now,
But you got it up. That's the main
yeah,
thing.
so we've got a matching data set. Dynamic loft
26 and 25.8.
matched it.
Very good.
I mean, that's matched, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be honest.
As
with
close
you.
to robot as you can get.
Yeah, absolutely. And then let's look at the strikes, which we'll look at the ball data and we'll come back to the strikes in a second. So
This is interesting.
this is the most interesting part, and we'll come back because I think
Yeah.
we'll end on this bit. The apex, I hit higher up the face than the MB blade was averaging lower on the face, which we'll come back to. Again, if you've got a theory for that, maybe post comments down below what you think that might be. So let's see what that happened to the appropriate door or the equivalent ball data. So ball speeds, 115.4 with the apex.
Yeah, and 116 with the MB. 0.6 different.
So again,
Close, isn't it?
so matched. You've got to remember these are 0.5 difference in loft, aren't they? These two clubs as
yeah.
well. So
But you have gone as close in delivery as possible.
yes, yeah,
So-
absolutely. Now here's a winner. Apex is 21 launch to 19. It's 2 degrees higher launch. I, in my head, would see how that would work on my advantage on a course in some situations.
Like in my head, like 2 degrees is not a lot. Like when I think of 90 degrees and 2 of that,
Yeah, I agree.
it's not a lot, is it?
No.
This is literally the only difference, isn't it?
Well, yeah, if you look at the spin, the apex spins a little less, but you've got to remember it was hitting
300.
higher on the face.
Yeah.
So if you got equivalent,
Strike points.
well, you can't have equivalent strike points
Because of
the
CGs.
CG's in a different
Yeah.
place. So if you had equivalent strike points to where the CG is, but again, it's 300 revs.
Like look how like rabbit holey we're just
Yeah,
digging and
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
find something.
And then resulting
aren't we?
distance is 1 yard. So
1 yard.
the 2 degree launch is the thing that stands out the most, which you're not really buying into as much. You don't care about that.
Like I know what my 7 iron will launch and I know what my 6 iron will launch, and I look at something and know what will get over it and what won't. So yes, over a whole season, am I going to see a big difference?
No, you're going to see
Like, I know I'm
0.5
behind
of a
lots
shot.
of trees. Crikey.
Well, here you go. Where
Right.
I think differently to you. We've played enough videos where you get over the trees impressively.
Yeah.
Where I have to go round. I haven't got that option. So you go and give me 2 degrees extra launch. Everything else being equal. That 300 revs I can live with just.
Well, yeah. Well, again, like
'Cause
someone made a
descent
good
angles-
point, didn't they, the other day? That's
Yeah.
over a minute.
Yeah, over a minute of flight. It's obviously 300 revs per minute, and this is a 3-second flight,
Yeah.
or 2-second flight, or whatever it is. So it's
Yeah.
probably about 50 revs in total at the most.
Yeah.
But this is why I use hybrids. And the other thing is as well, you got to remember this. If I was hitting an apex 6, which is going to be like the 5, you're putting me at my last iron, and I want that to blend with the launch of my hybrid. Do you see what I mean? So I see that as a great way of stepping, blending a club, because it's going to blend its launch closer to me. When I start losing
Yeah.
launch in my lower lofted clubs,
Yeah.
I then go to things like this to try and win that
Get it
launch
up,
back.
yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So I see that 2 degrees as different to you. And at the end of the day, I agree with you. The scores will be the same.
Yeah.
It's what I will be able to take on in certain situations where it will give me, to call it an edge is a stretch, but it
Yeah.
will give me just something that, why would I give it away when it's so simple? When it's so similar, why would I give that away?
Yeah. I just, yeah. I
Like,
agree.
It's
I
like
agree.
Chuck. It's like if you buy a coffee off me, right, for $2.98, do you take your 2p back or not?
No, I put it in a charity
You
pot.
so don't. He so doesn't. He so doesn't.
I put it in the charity pot.
You so don't.
I do. I do not keep coppers. I put them in the charity pot.
Okay,
They don't go in my pot at home. Silver
Okay.
comes back.
All right, so I give you 5p back then.
I might keep that.
Yeah, so that's 5p.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the equivalent, I
Yeah.
think. That's what we're actually talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about your 5p change, what you do with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you can write tech all you like. The biggest difference, apart from that 2-degree launch, when you match the lofts on two very contrasting tech clubs, and you could do this with any manufacturer,
Yeah.
remember, it could be, they all talk tech, is where I worked out where to hit them on the face. That was
That's
the stand
interesting,
out
yeah.
massive difference there.
You're searching CG there.
I am
aren't you?
totally trying to find the best place to hit that. So if you're someone who doesn't track CG, now don't put yourselves down here. A lot of golfers that I fit with and teach with over the years, they track it.
Mm-hmm.
Or they track it in relationship to where they miss it.
Yeah.
So if they always hit out the toe and I go and move it in the toe, they miss the club.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
move
With
with
it.
it, even if they don't find it. They move their side of it or
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
So that, in return, if you think about it, to get that higher up the face than that, that's my physical low point is different.
Mm-hmm.
So what if I hit the ground more? Maybe you'd be better off with the blade than the one where I try and bottom it out more.
Yeah.
It obviously isn't different leans with the shaft.
No,
Because
well, yeah.
it can't be because the loft's the same.
Well, the loft's different by 0.5 at the start, so it's like, again, minute,
Yes,
isn't it?
it's minuscule
Minute,
leads,
yeah,
isn't it, with
yeah.
the shaft? But it could be the shaft,
Yeah.
it could be that.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So the biggest difference, I think, is where I'm striking them on the face, subject to what the CG is doing.
Yeah, I agree.
How many people are seeing any differences in here and seeing, I mean, basically, you've got a 7-iron going as far as a 6-iron. That's the biggest difference that sells down that length.
Yeah. Boom. Ooh,
We're actually,
7-iron
if you look
going
at
that
that,
far.
yeah, there's no difference.
No.
Because the only thing that's going to make you hit target or not is D-plane, as much as you want to believe that or not, and that is pretty much the same D-plane delivery with those.
Yep.
So my dispersion will be exactly the same with those clubs, subject to my performance.
Yeah.
I like that, Matthew. Thank you
Good
for
question.
answering my question today.
Yeah. What are you bringing next
I don't
time?
know, I think, but where's our coffee machine? Has it come yet?
Not yet.
Come on.